Madrid remain your leaders over in La Liga, that's right. But coming at you this weekend is El Clasico, that's right, with Barcelona hot on their heels. Who's going to come out top in the big game? And much more. We'll take a look at it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today it is match number 10 over in La Liga, which currently sees Real Madrid top of the table. But will they be there after this monster clash against their rivals, Barcelona? We'll take a look at all of it in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want some short for Blackburn Rovers, La Liga, World Football. We're going to all here under one Ruski. That's right, Real Madrid only one defeat so far, as have Barcelona, but 2 points separate the two sides at the top of the table. But will, of course, Barcelona regain top table spot? We'll take a look in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. And again, can I get a cheeky little like target of 40 likes? That's a big ask. We've not got much time before the games, but of course, you guys have been killing it with the like target, so I do appreciate that if you can do it. So let's get into the action, of course, and recap what went down last time around. Of course, these were the games from the past weekend, and as you can see it, did okay. A couple of good results, a couple of bad results. Espanyol beating Real Oviedo. I went with a draw on that one. Mallorca beating Sevilla, of course, fresh off the back of that win over Barcelona, but of course, I didn't see that one coming. Barcelona did beat Girona 2-1. There was a 2-2 draw between Villarreal and Betis. Atlético Madrid did beat Osasuna 1-0. Athletic Club with just a draw against Elche. Celta and my boys Sociedad drew 1-1. Levante also losing to Vallecano, and Real Madrid picking up the win against Getafe, and the draw between Alavés and Valencia, as I called it. So the table looks like this. So this is the current table as it stands. Real Madrid currently top table with 24 points. Barcelona are in second spot. Villarreal are in 7. So this is the current situation in the table, with Real Madrid top of the table with 24 points. Barcelona are in second, Villarreal are third, and Atlético Madrid make up the top 4. Going down, Girona, Oviedo, and my boys Sociedad. But well, can they get themselves out of it this weekend? We'll have a look at all of it in just 1 second. First and foremost, though, an update to this. It is the Superbru. This is the link. And of course, this is the current situation in the Superbru as of right now. As you see, the victory coming out top with a 14.5 points haul. Finley in second spot with 13. Drew Marley up there in bronze with 12.5. As for me, I got myself 10 points. Ain't too shabby, but of course, that didn't do much change to the leaderboard. It does see Finley still out on top. Jim Watton in second. Drew Marley in third. I'm all the way down into 10th, but I am up 1 spot. I'm coming for that title. But let's move on forward to this weekend's action, and these are those games. We've got a mass stacked up fixtures from Friday all the way through to Monday, and we're going to kick it all off with Friday night's match, which is Sociedad against Sevilla. It's coming out to the Real Arena. What a game this is, that's right. Sociedad under Sergio Francesco sit 18th right now, just 6 points, only 1 win in the last 6 matches, taking on the Sevilla side, who are 9th with 13 points, and they've lost 2 of the last 6. They're coming into this having played 52 times between each other, 18 wins for Sociedad, 21 wins for Sevilla. There's been 13 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 1-0 win for Sevilla back in March 2025. Sevilla on the back of that 3-1 loss to Mallorca. Sociedad on the back of that draw away to Celta Vigo. The bookies, though, we would love to bring in Bob, but Bob is busy. But Sociedad are actually favoured for the victory here. Sevilla, the underdogs. But I've got to go with a 1-1 scoreline once again. Sociedad, just like a lot of my clubs this year, are doing absolute shit. So, expecting a quadruple relegation across England and Europe and Germany and Scotland, wow, all over the place. Let's get to the next game. It is Girona. It's Oviedo. That's right. Come out to the Stadi Monteverde. Girona under Michel. They sit 20th right now, just a 6 points, but just 1 defeat in the last 4. They've got a bit of draw fever right now, drawing 3 of the last 6. Standing in the way is Oviedo, who are 19th, also on 6 points, losing 5 of the last 6. Now, these two clubs have played 10 times since 2015. 4 wins Girona, 2 wins Oviedo. There's been 4 draws. They last played at this venue in the Segunda Division. It was back in March 2022. It was a 2-1 win for Girona. Now, Girona are unbeaten against Oviedo over the last 5. Picking up 3 wins and a couple of draws. And only, of the wins, they've only been by 1 goal. So, 1 goal between the two sides. So, not cricket scores here, not big landslide victories. So, Girona have got a recently good track record. Girona, though, are on the back of that 2-1 loss to Barcelona. Oviedo on the back of back-to-back defeats, back-to-back games without a goal, so they are struggling to find the back of the net. The bookies, they will go with Girona here. I'm going to go with a win for them as well. 2-1 winners to get themselves maybe up and at them in the old drop zone. Meanwhile, Espanyol taking on Elche. Espanyol still doing all right, sitting in 6th right now, 50% form, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. Taking on an Elche side who are 7th with 14 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Now, they've played 11 times, these two clubs, since 2003. 4 wins Espanyol, 3 wins Elche. There's been 4 draws. Now, this match coming at you at the RCD Stadium. Last played at this venue. This match was a 2-0 win for Espanyol back in November 2023. Espanyol are actually unbeaten against Elche over the last 4, picking up a couple of wins and a couple of draws. And they're coming into on the back of that win over Oviedo, with Elche picking up that impressive draw at home to Bilbao, though. The odds, though, they'll go with Espanyol. They are the favoured for this one. I think I'm going to go that way as well. 2-0 winners for the hosts on this one. Athletic Club taking on Bilbao. That's right, come at you at the San Mams. Bilbao and Ernesto Valverde are 8th right now, 14 points for them. Back-to-back games now without a loss. Against the Getafe side under Pepe Bordalas, they're down to 12th, but they're winless in the last 5. Now, they played 40 times since 2004. 13 wins Bilbao, 9 wins for Getafe. There's been 18 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 1-1 scoreline back in August 2024. In fact, the last 3 at this venue between these two sides have ended up all square with draws galore at the San Mams. Now, Bilbao are on the back of a draw themselves, drawing with Elche on the road, Getafe losing to Real Madrid most recently, but the hosts, Bilbao, should favour this one, according to the bookies. As to me, going to go with a 3-0 win, big win, to change the form book once again. Valencia up against Villarreal. That's on Saturday, 25th of October. Carlos Cobohan's Valencia are 14th right now, just the 9 points for them. Up against the Villarreal side, under Marcelino, they have winless in the last 4. They sit 3rd, 17 points for them. They've taken on Valencia 60 times since 1998. 25 wins for Valencia, 22 wins for Villarreal. There's been 13 draws, including back-to-back draws between these two sides. One at Villarreal, which was, of course, back in February 2025, and last time here at the Mestalla, it was back in August 2024. It was also a 1-1 scoreline. Valencia also drawing last time around against Alavés. As for Villarreal, losing to Man City in the Champions League. Bookies odds, they'll go with Villarreal on this one. I think Valencia might get something out of this, but I am leaning towards the 2-1 win for Villarreal on the road. Let's go to Mallorca now. It's into Sunday, the 26th of October. It's Mallorca under Jagabal Areste. They sit 16th right now with just the 8 points up against Levante under Julian Calero. They are 15th with 8 points as well. They played 24 times since 1996. 9 wins for Mallorca, 10 wins for Levante, 5 draws, of course, coming out to the Sommois Stadium. Now, the last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Mallorca back in October 2021. Competitively, the hosts have always won this game in the last handful of matches. In fact, the last time the away side won this game competitively was back in 2006 when Mallorca beat Levante in La Liga. Mallorca on the back of that 3-1 win over Sevilla. Levante losing to Vallecano most recently. The bookies will go with the hosts here, as I think I'm leaning towards a home win. 2-1 winners, but it is a tight game that could be settled by just fine margins. Meanwhile, Real Madrid es Barcelona is El Clasico, goodness gracious me, at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid and Xabi Alonso are top of the table with 24 points. They've won 5 of the last 6. Barcelona, the Hansi Flick, they've won 4 of the last 6 themselves. They sit second with 22 points. They've played Real Madrid 91 times, winning 43 of them. Real Madrid winning 29 of them. There's been 19 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 4-0 win for Barcelona back in October 2024. In fact, Barcelona have won 4 on the bounce competitively against their bitter rivals here, and they've been goal fest. They've been absolute goal fest. Give me a minute to count these goals. 9, 11, 13, 16, 19, 23 goals in the last 4 competitive matches. You can do the maths on that bad boy. Meanwhile, Real Madrid on the back of that 1-0 win over Getafe. They're taking on Juventus tonight. Barcelona on the back of that 6-1 win over Olympiacos. That was in the Champions League. Back-to-back wins for them, of course. Bookies will go with Real Madrid on this one, but of course, games like this just don't. They're not like that. They're not easy to decide. So I'm actually going to go once again down the middle, 2-2, which of course is advantage Real Madrid at this stage, but it's a good point for Barcelona. Because it keeps the distance to just 2 points, and of course they've got to play again in Barcelona later on in the season. Meanwhile, we go to Osasuna as they take on Celta Vigo at the Estadio El Sadar. Alessio Lichi is the coach there for Osasuna. They are 13th with just the 10 points for them at the moment, just 1 win in the last 5. Against Celta Vigo under Claudio Geraldes, they are 17th right now. Unbeaten in the last 3, but just 1 win in the last 6. They're sitting there with 7 points. They've taken on Osasuna 32 times since 1994. 9 wins to Osasuna, 16 wins Celta Vigo. There's been 7 draws. They last played at this venue, 3-2 winners it was for Osasuna back in January 2024. 2024. The hosts are on the back of that 1-0 loss to Atlético Madrid. Meanwhile, Celta Vigo drawing with Sociedad last time. Back-to-back draws for them, also in action in Europe this week. The bookies will go with Celta Vigo. No, they're going with Osasuna, that's right, which I don't know about this. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for the visitors here, Celta Vigo. They might be lower down the table at the moment, but definitely got a bit more pedigree than Osasuna at the moment. Let's go into the next one. It is Rayo Vallecano up against Alavés, coming at you on a Sunday. Estadio de Vallecas. Vallecano under Ignio Perez. They sit 11th right now with 11 points. They've won 3 on the bounce. Taking on Alavés, of course, under Eduardo Coudet. They sit 10th with 12 points. They played each other 22 times since 1997. 10 wins Vallecano, 9 wins Alavés, 3 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 1-0 win for Vallecano back in October 2024. The Vallecano did the double over Alavés last season. Back-to-back clean sheets as well. Vallecano are on the back of that 3-0 win over Levante. They are in action against Hacken Gothenburg in Europe. Meanwhile, Alavés on the back of that 0-0 against Valencia. The bookies odds for this one, they go with Vallecano, as do I. 2-0 winners. Vallecano taking the points and, of course, doing again another great season once again. Real Betis up against Atlético Madrid. That's right, the Benito Villamiran. Manuel Pellegrini's Real Betis are 5th right now, 16 points for them. They're unbeaten in the last 6 up against Atlético. Diego Simeone, they are 4th with 16 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played each other 57 times since 1994. 13 wins for Betis, 29 wins for Atlético. There's been 15 draws. They last played at this venue. 1-0 winners it was for Real Betis back in October 2024. Betis are on the back of that 2-2 scoring against Villarreal. Atletico are on the back of that 4-0 chonking by Arsenal in the Champions League. Betis still to play in Europe this week, but of course all eyes on this one on Monday night, as Atletico are still favourites for this game. Yes, they are. This is a difficult one, tricky one on a Monday night as well. A bit of a special game. Going to go with a 0-0. All eyes on this one. But that's my take, guys. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like at the end of this week's action. It'll be Real Madrid top of the table with 2 points clear of Villarreal, who are closing in. They are 3rd. Espanyol still doing up there in 4th. It's the Tyree Stolen effect going down. Oviedo, Sociedad and Levante. But that is all I've got for you today. So make sure you smash the old like it again. Remember that like target of 40 likes. Do us a favour and try and get close to that number. If not, succeed it. Until then, subscribe. I'll see you soon when we return.